I completely went off on my uncle after he made a homophobic comment about my family. So I'm 14, and I live with my 2 moms and my 2 older sisters. My uncle David has always had issues with my family setup, especially when my mom Sarah first came out years ago. He claims he's not homophobic, but he's always making these weird passive-aggressive comments whenever we're around. Every Christmas, we have this tradition where we open presents at home in the morning, then drive over to my grandmother's house for lunch with the whole extended family. This year, I was wearing black nail polish because that's just my style. I like the way it looks with my outfits, and my moms have always been cool with me expressing myself however I want. We get to grandma's house and everything's going fine. My cousins are showing off their new toys, the adults are catching up, and we're all sitting around the dining room table eating grandma's famous ham and mashed potatoes. That's when my 9-year-old cousin Tommy looks over at me and goes, "Why do you have painted nails if you're a boy?" I could see some of the adults tense up, but I just explained it calmly. I told him that painting your nails isn't just for girls, and that boys can wear nail polish too if they want to. Tommy seemed satisfied with that answer and went back to playing with his new action figure. But that's when Uncle David decided to open his mouth. He's sitting across from me, and he looks right at me and says, "I'd imagine that's pretty common with boys growing up in your environment." The way he said environment was so loaded with judgment and disgust. Something just snapped in my brain, like a switch flipped, and all the years of his subtle digs and comments came flooding back. I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "The environment being a loving family with 2 parents in the same household? Yeah, I can see how that would be confusing for you." The entire table went silent. Uncle David's face turned bright red because everyone knew he'd been divorced from his wife Linda for 3 years now. His kids only see him every other weekend, and he's been bitter about it ever since. My mom Rachel immediately started yelling at me to apologize, but I wasn't backing down. I told her I wasn't going to apologize for defending myself and our family against his homophobic garbage. I said I was tired of pretending his comments were okay just to keep the peace. Uncle David tried to backtrack and said he was sorry if he upset me, but I could tell he wasn't really sorry. He was just embarrassed that I called him out in front of everyone. I just said whatever and didn't talk to anyone for the rest of lunch. The car ride home was super awkward. My moms were split on whether I should have said anything. Mom Sarah was proud that I stood up for our family, but Mom Rachel thought I was disrespectful and should have handled it differently. My older sister Emma said she was glad someone finally told Uncle David off because his comments have been bothering her for years too. She said she was just too scared to say anything because she didn't want to cause family drama. Later that night, my grandmother called and said she understood why I was upset, but that family gatherings aren't the place for arguments. She asked me to try to be more patient with Uncle David because he's still learning to accept our family. But honestly, I'm tired of being patient. I'm tired of walking on eggshells around people who think there's something wrong with my family just because I have 2 moms instead of a mom and dad. We're happy, we're stable, and we love each other. Uncle David can keep his opinions to himself from now on.